Jacob had always found solace within the pixelated boundaries of Project Zomboid. The thrill of survival in a zombie-riddled world scratched the itch for adventure that lay dormant in the lives of most ordinary people. But with the recent hype of a new mod infusing the game with elements of Fallout, he felt a new pulse thrumming in his veins. Toxicity, mutants, and discoveries awaited him, and he was ready to document every chilling moment. As he logged into the server, an uncertain excitement washed over him. The loading screen flashed ominously, "Welcome to the wasteland of Knox County." With a deep breath, he was thrust into a world veiled in despair, yet tinged with an uneasy glimmer of hope. The town of Muldroff had taken on a grotesque semblance of its former self. The desolation of the zombie apocalypse had fused with the aftermath of nuclear disaster. Crumbling buildings sported faded banners of long-gone holidays, making haunting reminders of a life people once cherished. Jacob's first mission was simple: explore the town, document the changes, and survive the wild. He quickly discovered that the map had expanded beyond familiar territories. In the center of the town stood the hulking silhouette of a nuclear power plant, starkly contrasting with the earthy tones and chaotic structures that had previously surrounded it. Rusting pipes jutted from the ground like the skeletal fingers of the earth, while mist coiled around the base, muting the colors of decay. Jacob caught his breath, his journal ready in hand, dictated by the dread of approaching danger and unquenchable curiosity. Navigating characteristically through the wreckage, he spotted his first hostile, a charged raider. Eyes gleaming with radioactive mutagenesis, it twitched unpredictably, its skin peeling to reveal glowing necrotic tissue beneath. Jacob's heart raced as the creature surged forward. He narrowly dodged and decided the best course was to take it down with his bat, combining the element of stealth with brutal force. The raid monster fell with a sickening thud, releasing a pulse of sizzling energy that singed the air around him. Jacob noted the creature's mutation in his journal. Charged raider, beware, contact with these buggers can unleash radiation. Writing quickly, he jotted down his observations on the dangers of radiation exposure. He felt the weight of the pen in his hand, connecting his personal narrative with the horror unfolding. As night descended, the power plant beckoned him closer. There was an electric hum in the air, as if the very structures were alive, anticipating his approach. Equipped with a flashlight, Jacob stepped cautiously through the massive gate. An overwhelming stench of decay assaulted his senses as fluorescent tubes flickered overhead. Inside, remnants of a catastrophic mishap clung to every wall. Papers fluttered through cracked machinery, displaying warnings of radiation and containment failures, while neon green stains marked the floor like abstract art amid horror. Somewhere in the distance, the crackling sounds of irradiated monstrosities caused his heart to race. His pulse quickened as Jacob explored the labyrinthine structure, all the while documenting the crumbling remnants of civilization. Strange terminals lay scattered about, set to diagnose radiation levels. He activated one, squinting at the bright screen of data and graphs. It blinked with ominous red indicators, confirming high levels of radiation in the vicinity. Local radiation level, severe, the screen read, sending tremors of foreboding through him. Dread encircled him like a tightening noose. Peering deeper into the plant, he penned thoughts of how to manage this newfound danger. Superimposing maps of survival, he created a checklist of post-apocalyptic tips as he wandered further. Suddenly, his flashlight caught movement, and he spun around, his back pressed against a cold metal wall. It was a creature, a new irradiated mutant. Its eyes were sunken and glassy, the remnants of humanity fading beneath the layers of herbal radiation poisoning. With jagged teeth that barely contained their grimace, it lunged at him, clutching charred limbs tightly. Jacob's instincts kicked in. He swung the flashlight first, sending the beast staggering backward and into a pipe where electric arcs sparked angrily. Bright flashes illuminated the creature's moans, and before he could turn to escape, a zap struck nearby, the result of the surge within the canisters, lining the wall. Jacob dashed for the exit, a terror-driven sprint interlaced with curiosity. His heart thundered as he raced through blinding corridors towards the exit. This peril embodied the very essence of survival, yet he yearned for knowledge. The thought pushed him onward, despite every instinct screaming at him to flee. Finally bursting from the power plant, Jacob collapsed against the sidewalk. He didn't know how long he'd been inside, but he craved fresh air away from the contamination. The moonlight illuminated the chaos surrounding him, and he dug into his bags for the radiation tracker he had scavenged earlier. The device beeped steadily, confirming the urgency to find shelter and detoxify. He noted an abandoned pharmacy on the map. Radiation Management Zone, it said, outlined in yellow. With newfound determination, he plotted his way once more through the darkened streets, pen poised for notes. Inside the pharmacy, the dimmed lights cast shadows across shelves filled with toxic elixirs and medical paraphernalia. He rootled through cabinets, his fingers grazing over supplies that felt uncertainly comforting. A few bottles of Radaway and other antidotes sat nestled among the clutter, the names reading like a twisted promise to dismantle the cycle of terror he'd increasingly encountered. As he recovered and re-equipped himself, Jacob felt the weight of his journey. He'd documented the horror, explored the past of Knox County, and unearthed remnants of human endeavor amidst the decay. The fusion of Fallout's remnants and the undead fleshings of Project Zomboid married seamlessly within his narrative, each moment a testament to the human spirit that clung to survival. Churning thoughts of adventure floated through his mind, a desire to tell the stories of those who now roamed the irradiated ruins. Taking one last glance at the phosphorescent glow encircling the power plant, he scrawled his final note of the night: "In darkness, we find our light, in decay, the will to thrive." With each stroke of his pen, he chronicled his journey, mortal, yet resilient. With survival at the forefront, his narrative was merely beginning. It wasn't the end that terrified him, it was the journey of discovery that awaited in the irradiated wilds of Muldroth. He felt brave and, perhaps for the first time, human.